The last offensive technique that we'll talk about in a squared stance, because they are a lot more traditional versus a bladed stance, is our kicks, okay? When we're in a squared stance, again, we have access to most of the traditional types of kicks. And what I mean by that is like American traditional. Like in a bladed stance, a side kick might be like a traditional kick to you, depending on like how you grew up, where you grew up, all of that stuff. But for like more traditional K1 style kickboxing, even Muay Thai, I would argue that like the round kick and the teep are really traditional kicks, and they work really well with the squared stance. Opposed to if I'm in a bladed stance, teeping can kind of be weird, especially on my front leg. That's why like people side kick there more. My like switch kick isn't going to be as good when I'm in a bladed stance because it's like just feels awkward, and because like I have to do this giant big motion before I switch kick when I'm in a bladed stance, where when I'm in a squared stance it could be a tiny switch and then a kick, so it's much faster. So just real quick, when I'm kicking Elias, I'll just give you my spiel on kicks because like I said, you guys are here for a reason. You guys want to learn how I do things. It's not always going to be the way that everyone else does things, but it's going to be the way that I do things, and I'm doing pretty good. So me and Elias are partners. When I round kick, okay, this is one of those commitment things. If I commit really hard to the round kick and I want to blast Elias with the round kick, that's okay, but just understand that there's caveats to everything. So when I kick Elias with my round kick, boom, and I really want to blast him, I have to rotate on this down foot, okay? I'm in a squared stance. I have like really easy access to this. I can kick very quickly, okay? I rotate all the way. The more I rotate, the harder the kick is going to be for the most part. Boom, like this. Some of you guys have super flexible hips because I've been coaching for a lot of years now too. Some of you guys have super flexible hips where you guys don't need to rotate on the down foot in order for you guys to like really incorporate all of your hip. That makes me feel like I'm gonna tear every single thing in my knee. So I would definitely highly recommend rotating whether or not you can or can't have that level of flexibility. Rotate on the down foot or you're gonna blow everything out in your knee, okay? Important. All right, so we're here. If I want to blast Elias hard, I rotate more. If I'm more concerned with my position, because the more I rotate, the more I'm out of position, even if it's for millimeters or milliseconds of a second. The more I rotate, the longer it takes for me to get back. If I rotate less, maybe like a half or a quarter, I can get myself back into a stance a lot quicker, but I'm not usually going to have the same amount of oomph. Power isn't king. Keeping yourself safe and not getting knocked the fuck out is king, okay? And that happens with position. If you have an opportunity to blast the person, go for it. But for the most part, almost always err on the side of being defensive, okay? So if I want to blast Elias, I rotate, boom, I throw my kick, I come back into my stance. If I want to be more positionally sound, I blast it and I come back up. Some people call this the three-quarter kick. Comes more like this, less like this. Here's my round kick. Here's my three-quarter kick. I just rotate less. It keeps me in better position. Or I guess it like puts me back into a better position a lot quicker. Okay? On the left side, when I switch kick, same idea. I just reset. Boom. I switch my feet. If I want to blast Elias, I rotate all the way. If I want to keep it a little bit more safe, I just switch, flick it up, three-quarter kick, comes at this type of angle, and then I get myself back so that I'm safe again. Okay, right side, rotate, three-quarter kick, up, come back into a stance quicker. Same thing on the other side. When I switch, I lift, I set, and that's where my kick is really getting started, is right when this sets. That's where I'm getting a lot of my drive in my hips. Boom. I can blast that, come back into my stance, or I can switch, throw a three-quarter, come back into my stance because it gets me back a lot faster into a safer position, okay? Teeps. Teeps are almost the same, except teeps aren't really there to like really like stun someone or like knock someone out, although you can. When me and Elias are fighting, most of the time, I'm just trying to keep Elias away from me when I'm teeping. So right side, super simple. I'm gonna throw this in a way where I'm still using my hips. Again, a committed thing though. I don't wanna just do like this. That would be like if I like just kicked Elias like this, like that's not gonna do anything. When I kick Elias, I don't want to extend so hard where if Elias moves backwards, I like throw and I'm off balance. But I do want to throw in a way where it has some gusto, but I also get back into position. And that's going to depend on a number of factors. Like, I'm kind of a lanky, longer guy. So if I were to like rip everything that I do, I'm going to be getting myself back into position like a lot, which is why I keep like my movements a little bit smaller, just because my limbs are a little bit longer. Okay? So I'm throwing my teep. I come up onto this toe. Boom. I try to hit with the ball of my foot. I still use some hip, like my hip is finishing here. It's not shallow like this. If you need to rotate on the down foot, you can. Like I said, if your hips are going like this and your foot isn't moving, you're putting your knee at risk, because that pressure and that compensation has to happen somewhere, and usually it's going to happen on your knee. So when I teep, I lift, I push kick, I come back into my stance. I'm in a squared stance, boom, back into my stance. This is good for bladed stance too. Boom. It's just going to take longer to get back into position. We'll talk about that in a minute. But lift, teep, back into my stance. If you want to teep them in the face, that's cool too. Just make sure that you're not like Sparta, okay? When I do the left side, it's the same thing. I switch my feet, boom. I throw my push kick. I come back into my stance. I don't wrench it so hard where I'm going to get myself out of position. I switch, teep, back into my stance. Okay, so the 4 kicks, the simple ones, the traditional ones. I round kick, I'm in a squared stance. Boom, back into my stance. 3/4 kick, a little bit more up. Come back into my stance a lot quicker. Switch kick, boom, hard. Switch kick, 3/4, a little bit tinier. Then my teeps. Boom, I pop him off. I switch, I pop him off. One more time all the way through. Round, hard, 3/4, less. Round, hard, 3/4, less. Teep, switch, teep. Good? All right. What's up, guys? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the content, please make sure that you like and subscribe below. If you guys want to see more stuff like this, please comment. Let me know what you guys want to see more of, and I can make more of that content. If you found this helpful and you want to learn more, I just dropped my first one. I did it again. What is wrong with me? If you found this helpful and you want to learn more, I just dropped my first instructional series. Make sure that you guys hit the link below. Finally, shout out to my sponsor, Sheath, that made all of this content possible. Peace.